Hello, 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 hello. So, today I got finished getting all of the fins glued on to the merfolk doll. So I'm gonna get started on the paint job for that. Yeah, you might notice that I do still, in fact, have the old stream overlay on there. But that's like, I got a new laptop, which is wonderful. I got it as an early Christmas gift, which is great. My streams should be a little bit higher quality because this laptop has it's a bit stronger. Bit more memory space and all of that. So, but that does mean that I have yet to convert the files from my old laptop onto this one, so I do not have the other stream overlay currently. So I will make sure I do that. But so what I did here with, hang on, let me fix the lighting. Hopefully. I still need to figure out a better way to handle my lighting, and I think it might just be getting some better software for my camera control and all of that, but that should help. That did not help. It's a problem when the lamp you're using can't hold up its own weight. There we go. That should work. So I have a nice orange and a yellow paint. And I'm gonna kind of try to match the paint job that I did on the hands earlier, where I did orange on the fins, and then yellow sort of out from that in almost a koi scale pattern. So I want to try to do that, which should be interesting. Let's shake up the paint. These acrylics don't settle as much as some other paint I've used, but I just want to make sure. So I'm going to start with a base coat of orange on all of the fin pieces. So the fin pieces are sculpted onto a wire armature, sanded down a bit, and then I took glue to sort of stick them on more permanently, and also to smooth down some of the transition between the clay and the plastic, although I still need to figure out a better way to do that. It's much easier when you're working with epoxy. I've heard, I've never actually tried epoxy. And I would do that, but it's also expensive and a little harder to work with. So I'm just going to stick with the clay for now. So let me clean that up really quick. Some of the glue got a little messy. There we go. Hopefully, since I did put... Oh shoot, got really close to the microphone there. Sorry, guys. But there we go. That should fix the audio a little bit. Hopefully the layer of glue that I put over top should help stop the paint from absorbing into the clay quite as fast, which is a problem that I've had previously, and it makes it a little bit difficult to work with. It just absorbs in completely. So you have to put on a bunch of layers of paint to get it opaque. Which really sucks. There we go. Don't think this orange is showing up in sort of the color that it actually is on camera, which is unfortunate. But it's a much more reddish orange than it's showing up. Give me a second. That help? That does in fact help a little. What if I get both of them? Yeah, there we go. My lighting setup and all of that is not very professional right now, so I have two different lights here. And I don't know, maybe I should replace this bulb with a I mean, obviously you guys can't see it, but with a I guess more neutral toned, sort of a cool colored light, since right now it's sort of a warm one, and I think that's kind of throwing everything off. But if I get more of a cool tone, sort of less tinted light, it might help. And that's just honestly just replacing the bulb, but... Oh yeah, I got the fabric that I'm gonna use for my imposter doll, the spacesuit on that. I initially wanted to go for sort of a almost tarp material with that sort of plasticky texture, but turns out that that's really hard to find in the color that I wanted, so I ended up with this really pretty, it's needing to be washed right now, but because you pre-wash all of your fabric so that it doesn't shrink once it's done, and once the garment's done, and throw everything off. But that, what I ended up using is I found a really pretty, very vibrant lime green, almost silk fabric that I think will work really well for the effect that I'm going for. And it's very bright, and I think it should sort of fit the aesthetic of this doll, in that it's like almost overly colorful to the point where I think I could use it to make sort of the horror effect that I'm going for. The other thing is, I wish there was a way, there might be, and I'm just not familiar with it, to run a test stream before you actually run a stream, so that I could make sure that I have everything working in the way I want it to. Because on my old computer, it wasn't really able to, like, keep up with the processing power of streaming a game. So, but I'm thinking with this new laptop, it might be a little bit better. But I also don't want to have to start an actual stream in order to test that and have it be a disappointing stream for everyone. I don't know. Maybe there's a way you can do that? Because the thing is that I don't think the problem is in the recording of the thing. I think it's in the sending between the two locations. So you can't really simulate it with just taking a recording, because that's not going to, I guess, have the same effect on the computer. Oh, it's a difficult thing to think about, so I have to figure out a solution for that. It is a conundrum. Yeah. Sorry I missed this weekend stream. I was not feeling too great health-wise, but I'm doing better now. Nothing really to be worried about, though. I'm fine. I was just a little sick. But yeah. So it's pretty much caught up on everything that's been going on. It's been a little bit hectic, but I think that's just the nature of things right now. Okay, so there's the base coat on all of these fin pieces in the orange. Hello! I am working on painting up this merfolk doll that I was working on. So I sculpted on these fins, and now I'm working on getting them painted in the effect that I want. So I got the base coat on there of sort of that orange color. It's way more orange in real life than it is on camera because my lighting's funny, but what you gonna do? Thanks. Yeah. And I was gonna go around the orange with this much more yellow. See if I can get it to... There we go, that picks up. Yellow color to sort of give it almost the effect like koi scales, which should be interesting if it turns out the way I want it to. Big stretch. All right. Let's see. This is dry. Work over here. Yeah, sorry about my voice. It's a little bit scratchy. I think I just need to get used to talking as much as I do on stream. Yeah, that's one of the main things that I do as a hobby is doing doll repaints and a lot of sculpting work on them too. This is a pretty, I guess, lighter project than the other ones that I'm working on. And it's also, I do quite a bit of more, I guess, horror kind of things. Like the main project that I'm working on right now, this is sort of a side thing with the mermaid, is an imposter doll. And for that one, I ended up cutting the doll completely apart, rebuilding it. Oh, thank you for the follow. Yeah. So that I could carve a stomach, or carve a mouth into the stomach. Which was complicated. So all I have to do left on that one pretty much is the face and the outfit, which is going to be interesting. I'm much better at the sculpting and the painting things. Yeah. This stuff's a lot of fun. I have recently also acquired a really big box of thrift store Monster High based bodies, which are gonna be really fun to work with, but also these take a while to do, and that's a lot. So I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get through that. But yeah, that should be fun. Dang. Got paint on the thing. This is why I do not have my desk uncovered when I'm doing these. And also because I've been doing this kind of stuff on my desk for a long time, and at this point my desk just isn't pretty anymore because it's covered in paint and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. That is a lot of fun, doing the reroutes. Does take a little while, though. So there's sort of that base with some of the really pale yellow. See if I can get it to focus in over the blue. I almost want to do something on the main piece of the fin just to add a little bit more color variation to it. But I might go over and do that with pastels and watercolor pencils. Yeah, I've been doing this stuff for, I think, about a year now. And I've finished up a couple projects. It's pretty fun. There we go. Yeah. Oh, right now I'm working on I've done another merfolk before this one, and that one had the, now let me grab her from the shelf. The full merfolk tail, which was interesting to do. So it's just a fabric piece that I sewed some wires into and stuffed so it's fully posable. That's one of the first ones I finished up. And then, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. And then I have sort of a more steampunk styled doll, which didn't turn out quite as I had imagined, but it's pretty good. And then my ever important mannequin doll, which is just a standard Monster High body. So I put on all of the measurements so I can use as a mannequin when I'm working on the clothing for some other projects. And then I think I have like 4 or 5 projects going right now, just because you have to account for all the dry times, and I always like having something to do. So I have a pair of dolls that I'm doing the armor work for. Which is fun. Here. There's the body piece for a leather suit of armor. That's just really thin leather sewn together. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do other kinds of art on here, but I mostly just do my doll stuff. is a lot of fun. Thank you. Yeah. No, I'm not the best doll customizer out there. I've seen some really impressive stuff in the community, but I think I'm pretty good at this. Not sure what I'm going to do with the outfit for this one, but I do have some really nice mesh fabric that's in the same color orange that I was thinking about using for some more, like, I guess more beta fish style fins, which I think might add an interesting element to the character design, so... that should be fun. Oh yeah, I might be finally getting an actual sewing machine. Because before now... oh, yeah, see you then. But all of the costume pieces I've done for all of this, and for some actual, like, full-scale cosplay stuff, have been put in just fully hand-sewn, just hand-stitched together, which was interesting to do and took forever. There we go. Always make sure you have water nearby. While I was talking. I might add some patches of scales that are unrelated to the fin pieces, just to sort of bring it together. Look at that. Little dots. There we go. Yeah, some of my my other friends on Discord have been giving me some advice on some editing software I could use. So hopefully my next few uploads on YouTube will be much better quality than my current stuff that I've uploaded to YouTube. Although granted, I've only actually uploaded one edited video and the rest of it's just the video on demand stuff for the Twitch streams. But hopefully that should make the editing much easier than it was there, because that took several hours and was very tiring. Sort of marbling together the scales here. I think that'll give it an interesting effect that sort of matches what I did there. Might add some flecks of the yellow into the orange to give it sort of that scaled effect. Boop, boop. There we go. I also have to, I've been working on finding some ways to make my speech a little bit more clear. So I don't say constantly, even though I will anyway. Yeah. It is difficult doing the live streams when you're selectively mute and stuff. Ugh. See, I have things to talk about, and I have the words in my brain, but it's very difficult to get them out. It always has been. So I need to work on some more ways to work around that. Oh, I don't really mind it. If it doesn't bother you guys, then I'm fine. There we go. Yeah. Things have been going pretty well, I think. I realize I say that quite a bit, but it's just the way things go most of the time. Oh, yeah, by next month, I should be basically done with all of the high school stuff that I need to get done, and then I will be doing just the college classes, which should be interesting. Being a full-time college student. Trying to grab the doll from places where there aren't any paint I can mess up. I'm just gonna do the toes to sort of mimic the thing I did with the fingers on the hands. Also, I just think it would look cute having the sort of speckles going up from there. Also, it just kind of makes sense. Because I did that on the hands because there's the webbing in between. And I'm doing all of the fin pieces in the orange. So it just seemed right to do the fingers also in orange, to sort of like the fin pieces have the scales branching out from them. Fish. Yeah. You know that things are weird when the biggest news that you have in terms of things that are happening in your life is that I went 2 places today. It's just, wow. That's the most places I've gone in a while. Don't worry though, it was all responsible. I just went to the fabric store to pick up that green fabric that I need. Got some other fabrics to make some Christmas gift stuff out of. Should be fun, should be fun. Half an hour in already, wow. Gonna go in with some of the yellow. Tends to be a good idea to use, at least from what I've found, to do 3 colors in a character's design. Because it sort of makes everything stand out, I guess. And I've noticed, particularly with me in particular, is I do a lot of complementary colors and then one color that kind of is sort of in between the two, maybe off to one side. So with this one, I have the blue of the skin tone, and then the orange is the complementary color of that, and then I have the yellow, which kind of ties both of them together because it brings out sort of both the blue and the orange because of where they are in the color wheel. It sort of gives a really interesting effect. I don't know when I developed that, just that tendency to pick colors that I wouldn't even really call it a trifecta of colors because it's not truly tertiary colors from one another. But just think it's the perfect amount of color to put onto something where it's eye-catching and not all one color, but it's also, I guess, not too busy looking, is how I would put that. Which is really nice. I have made that mistake a couple times with character design, and it can be good if you're going for like a specifically more intentionally that way. So using that many bright colors can be really good, I've found, for creating something that's almost a little creepy in the sort of extremely bright eye strain kind of way. It sort of creates this uncanny effect that I think goes really well with all of that. I might cut this stream at an hour because I don't really have much to do. Beyond all this. But normally I go for 2 hours. I don't know. I was planning on doing work on the the imposter doll today with the getting started on the spacesuit. But the fabric still needs to finish with the pre-washing thing, so I won't be able to get started on that. But I can probably tell you about what I'm planning for it. So, here is the doll. Ignore the leg, that is definitely not supposed to be like that. I am going to fix that. I'm going to take elastic, and I have put 2 pieces of bamboo skewer in there, and then you just elastic them together, sew it in, and it retains all of the flexibility and stuff. So I just need to get around to doing that. So I need to do, first of all, more pastels on the body once I finish fixing it. But I have to draw up some more, like, concept art of what I'm going for on the spacesuit, because in the game, the spacesuit is, like, legitimately the characters are just beams. So I do kind of want to stick with that sort of bulky, rounded off feel. So I think I'm going to have something bigger around the neck that sort of connects to the helmet piece, which I do want to be kind of rounded. So then the piece at the neck is probably just going to be sewn together and then stuffed, and then wrapped around and sewn onto the rest of the outfit. And the other thing that I have to contend with here is the mouth. Because I do almost want, if I want sort of the creepy factor, to have the outfit be ripped, showing the mouth inside, which should be really fun to do, but also a little bit difficult to work with, because I'm going to have to, if I want that sort of rougher look with the edges, I'm going to have to sort of make the fabric have that frayed appearance and then just douse it in glue, because otherwise it's going to keep fraying and the entire thing will fall apart. You might be able to pull that off on a full-size garment with the thing where you just make a cut through it and leave it, but I don't think that's going to work here because the garment isn't that big in itself, and I would be concerned about it falling apart. So I'm going to have to really just fray check the heck out of that to make sure that doesn't happen. And then another piece that's probably going to end up in its own part is the backpack piece, which I've made, which is where I'm going to have all of the big fabric tentacles coming out of. Which, I have all of those made, but I'm going to cover this in fabric first and make, like, the strap pieces. Figure out how I'm going to do that. And then, I don't know, there's a thing, because I don't know if I should attach that directly to the outfit, or if that should be a part of the doll. Sort of a conundrum. Because I do really like the word conundrum, by the way, just side tangent, we should say that word more, it's fun. It makes your problem sound whimsical, and isn't that all you need in life? But I might make it so that the backpack piece has, like, is its own piece, not attached to either of the parts, with the snaps in front, probably on the straps, so that it can be put on over the other piece, or maybe just on its own, and I might also make the straps removable, which would be interesting. This is a big project. At least for this one, I didn't have to re-sculpt any joints. Looking at you, like, I don't know what to call her at all. Sort of bird person, I guess. Because I did make one of those, and she doesn't have wings, but other than that, basically bird. And the legs on that one, could probably also grab her from the shelf. These legs were hell. Because they are fully jointed, with the toes having their own joints, and this piece having its own joint, in addition to the already installed knee. And it took so long to make. And I did sculpt it using wire and then replace the joint pieces with, no, what's the word? The, bamboo skewers, yeah. To sort of, I guess, give it a good finish. So that's pretty much what I have planned for, like, next week. What do I mean next week? Like, I'm probably gonna end up streaming Wednesday. Which, yay, I'm finally sticking to my schedule. Although I did get started a little bit late today, so sorry about that. But, yep, so next stream's probably gonna be Wednesday, and I'm gonna be working on the spacesuit piece. I should do some concept art of that off camera, just so I have some idea of what I'm doing. But now that I have the fabric, I can really get to work on that, which should be interesting. So, thank you to everyone who dropped by and to everyone who is watching the recording. Come by probably next Wednesday at 6 unless something comes up. And I will be streaming again. You can check out my social medias. My Twitch, YouTube, and Tumblr are all at CJM Customs, and my Instagram and my Twitter are at CustomCJM. I'm trying to post on all of those more often, and the Tumblr and the Twitter do get updated every time I'm streaming, so that can be a pretty good, reliable way to get notifications. But yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!